Welcome everybody to Emily's Upcycled Home, where I take thrifted finds and transform them into beautiful home decor pieces. On today's video, I'm going to take these pictures here from Pinterest for our inspiration as we transform these thrifted items that I found in my stash. I'm excited to get started, so let's go ahead and jump on in. Our first project is this brass grate vase here, and I want to kind of camouflage some of that grate design, not too much, but just give it a little bit more texture so it's not so prominent on this piece. I am mixing in Stormy Seas and Sea Spray, a textured additive, both by Dixie, and you just add in your paint and a scoop of that texture additive and mix it up until you get this muddy, goopy consistency. And I'm just going to stipple that onto our vase here, hoping to camouflage a little bit of that grape design there. I'll give this a full coverage using this stippling method here. And don't forget, if you are interested in any of the products that I use on this video, I'll go ahead and have that linked in the description. To seal in our paint, I come in with Clear Gloss by Rust-Oleum. And for this piece, I did do 2 coats of our Stormy Sky color here. Now I want to give this a rust look here, so I will be coming in with regular cinnamon as well as Mod Podge to create this look. Now it's a very simple look here, very simple instructions, just a lot of layering to get the look that you want. And first here I thought that maybe the sealer was sticky enough, but it was not. So I'm adding in some Mod Podge here, and with my brush I'm gonna stipple that all around the edges of our tin here of where I want that rust and that build up to go. So you go ahead and put your layer of Mod Podge and come back in and layer in some of that cinnamon. And once again, this is just regular table cinnamon or kitchen cinnamon. It doesn't have to be a certain brand or anything. The cheaper the better, because you know it's all for crafting. And I'm layering this on, giving it some thickness and some little crustiness to it, because if you notice in rust things or rusty crusty things, it's very layered and it's very textured, and that is the look I'm going for. So it's going to take a minute to get your layering and your Mod Podge and your cinnamon where you want it. So just take your time and work with the piece and layer as much as you want or as less as you want, depending on your personal preference for the look that you're going for. Here I'm just continuing that process of layering up that Mod Podge as well as coming in with my cinnamon. Like I said, it's a little bit of a process here, but if you work it, it will have a beautiful look at the end. That's if you like that rusty crusty look. After I get the look I want, I'm going to set this aside so that it thoroughly dries. And the next day I came in back with our Rust-Oleum spray sealer and sprayed in all that cinnamon so that it has a secure hold onto our piece. The last step is I came in with some DIY dark wax and just aged up the piece even further. And here's the finished look for this piece. Let me know what you think down in the comments. For more DIYs, don't forget to follow me on my Facebook business page under Emily's Upcycled Home. For project number 2, I'm coming in with this piece of a candle base that I had in my stash, and I am going to continue on with this beautiful blue tone by Dixie, Stormy Seas. Now I'm pulling that color and that blue tone from my inspiration picks that I don't know, it's just, this color is pretty and I like what they did with it in the pics. So I am coming in with this paint color, and I am going to make sure I get into all these little nooks and crevices of this carved piece here. I am actually going to do 2 coats of this paint color, And then we'll go ahead and seal it since Dixie Belle does not have its own built-in sealer. Once again, coming in with my Rust-Oleum top coat here. And this is a gloss finish. They come in so many different finishes, you guys. I just have this one on hand. So after I apply the sealer, I just come straight in with my sandpaper and pull off some of that paint since it's still wet, and it's going to give me a little easier time here as far as distressing this piece. And any little piece of energy saved for me nowadays is a good thing for me. So I'm going to take it, as well as the fact that I am very impatient, you guys, and you already know that. So continue on here distressing that piece. And you guys, I do come back in with some dark wax by DIY, and then I'm waxing this piece, and I'm noticing that that circle in the center would be great for some kind of design or transfer or whatever. So here comes another party foul, you guys, but on this one I was not so lucky and had a little bit harder time of adding that transfer that I'm going to pick out in the center. So I'm coming in with this new release transfer, the Collage de Flores, and I'm just picking a small little piece of one of the roses out, and I'm going to apply that to the center. Now here's where I get myself into trouble. Some of the backing of my transfer was missing, and it has a little bit pieces of my paint that I just distressed, so I was having more issues with this piece. So as I'm trying to still go ahead and apply this, it's not working out for me. And this is why in my last video I did state that make sure you don't do this. So instead I come in and put it on a piece of rice paper, and it still gave me a lot of trouble to stick onto the piece. I think it was just a little bit full of paint particles here from my sanding, but I go ahead and get it off, and I bring in my ripping method here and just holding that piece down, going around all the edges and ripping off the excess of paper so I have a nice feathered look so that it blends smoothly into my piece here. Now you see all that edge there from the rice paper. I do like tissue paper better to decoupage with because it seems to melt into the paint and not have this halo effect. But no worries, I come back in with my Stormy Seas and I apply some more paint all around that edge, just camouflaging up our little pieces of rice paper. And for our top, I am coming in with just a regular wood round from Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to place that on the top, and we are going to create a riser here. Just coming in with a little bit of sandpaper and sanding some of the smooth areas. And on our post here, there's a little raised area that I need to smooth out. I come in with my regular Gorilla Glue and I place that into the center of our round. I want to let this dry, get a little tacky, and then I come in with my brad nail and secure in our top round with some nails. And like always, you guys, I'm coming in with that DIY dark wax and aging up our wood, giving it a little bit of a stained look. Now, once again, here's another part, or crafter's foul, you guys. I went ahead and put some sealant over that and added a transfer on top. Now, I put the sealant over this and it gave me this little crackling effect on there. So I want to continue that look. So I'm going to try to see if I can create that little crackle effect on the rest of the flower there. And I think that this piece needs a little bit of wording at the base. So I come in with some leftover IOD transfers from this pack here. And I go ahead and add my wording there. I'm going to let this dry and then stage it up for our picks. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now let's talk about the inspiration picks. Now I like the color combinations and the wood tones and the natural elements that I am pulling to create my own creations. It's not that I'm picking and choosing pieces in the room to copy and make my projects look exactly. It's what it is. It's inspiration, and it gives me a direction and aids me in my own creativity and bringing in my DIY projects to life. What do these picks inspire you to create? For project number 3, so I'm bringing in a little bit of a wicker element here just because I like those tones that were put together with this dark blue color in my inspiration pick. So in my stash, I found this cute little wicker basket, but I don't like that bright orange undertone that's going on there. So I'm going to come in with my DIY dark wax and my wax brush and layer on some of this dark wax, darkening that tone just a tad so it's not so orangey and in your face kind of look. And after I apply all that dark wax, I'll come in and wipe off all the excess. Now, if you watched my last video, I made some cute little resin castings from the IOD Conservatory label molds, and I am using the remaining ones. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this also with this blue color and the Stormy Seas color that we have been using, coming in with my heat gun to not only dry up the surface of the paint, but also warm up the resin and make it a little bit more pliable to work around those wicker elements of our basket. And as well as I'm coming in with some more dark wax and adding that variation of color and tone to our label on top of that Stormy Seas color. Now I just used some regular hot glue to apply that, and then here we're going to go ahead and stage it up, layering in a little doily, some greenery, and some vintage bobbins, and there is our finished look. So what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. And if you missed last week's video, I'll have that link in the description. And if you like my content, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Shall we jump into project number 4, which is this cute little box here. It's a wood box. Now I already painted it, and here you guys go, another crafter's foul here where I actually sealed the box shut with the paint because I closed the lid. I'm learning a lot of lessons here today in this video, but I go ahead and open that, and I just want to show you the box here. And it was all this brown color as you saw in the first pic, and I came in with that same Stormy Skies blue color that we continue on with the rest of our projects at the beginning of the video, and I decide to come in with a second coat, giving this a full coverage look, and I also paint on the inside. Next, I come in with my 220 grit sandpaper, and I'm going to distress all the edges, just bringing out a little bit of that brown tone there. And after I'm done distressing that, I'll go ahead and dust my piece off and come back in with our Rust-Oleum clear gloss spray and seal up all the piece here and seal in the inside as well. Now, as far as decorating this piece is concerned, I come in with my heat gun to try to help it dry a little bit. But you see here, I had a little bit of bubbling in the paint, and all I did there was just go ahead and dab it back in with my cloth. And to add our decorative element here, we are coming in with the IOD pack here, and I'm going to use this rose. And I know it's a little large for this piece, but if you've watched all my other videos, you know I like to really piece together and cut and really use these transfers in my own way. So I'm just cutting this transfer and piecing it onto the item that I want. And remember, you're just going to rub on the transfer, pulling back your plastic backing as you go, making sure you rub in that transfer and varnish your piece for a good hold. I'm just taking this extra tool and kind of just creasing or rubbing in the line to separate the transfer where the crease is at. I add a little bit more decorative elements here with leaves and repeat the process of transferring on those pieces and layering up those pieces. And I add this piece here, but I'm not sure I like it. Actually, I don't like it, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this. But I go ahead and come back in with a conservatory label mold, and this was a resin casting. Remember, I go ahead and heat that up to make it a little bit more pliable, and I come in or try to come in with my E6000, but it gave me issues, so I am trying this Gorilla Glue for the first time. I've seen other crafters use it, so I'm hoping it works for me. I'm going to let it set for 24 hours and add some weight to it. After the piece is thoroughly dry, I come back in with DIY dark wax and I go ahead and age up the piece. And as far as that little edge was concerned in the harsh line, I just brought in some paint and went over it, just camouflaging the harsh line that I didn't like and I mentioned earlier. Like always, I come back in with my rag and wipe off all the excess. And as far as the little label is concerned, I go ahead and repeat the process of painting it the same color, coming back in with the DIY dark wax. And you see it is pulling some of that little bit of paint off, but I go ahead and leave that because I like how it highlights it a little bit. And then this piece is complete. Let me know what you think down in the comments. We have reached the end of our video, so let's check out those finished projects. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. Thank you guys all for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.